Hello, everyone. Uh, Full disclosure, I had to break my rule and re-record today's vlog. Not for not for vanity's sake. Like I've fought that. I've fought the desire to do that on the days where I'm like, oh my god, I look so tired. No, today when I recorded the first take, not only did I manage to swear quite profanically, is that a word? Profanely? I swore a lot, which I don't know if I can do that on YouTube. I don't know if they censor me or not. So that was one reason for re-recording it. But the main reason is that I said something like in my wonderfully dyslexic brain that just came out completely wrong. It was really inappropriate. And like now I want to tell you all what it was, but then that would defeat the point of re-recording it. So yeah, it's gonna have to be an in joke with myself. Anyway, hello, happy Thursday. I am at home. I haven't gone into rehearsals today because it's the second day of my period. I feel like this vlog has become a lot about my menstrual cycle, which I'm really enjoying. And I didn't go in yesterday because yesterday was the first day of my period. But I have still been very creative, which has been really nice. I really noticed that if I let myself rest when I'm bleeding, I actually get a lot of ideas, and a lot of creativity generally comes with that process of flowing and releasing. So I actually ended up doing quite a lot of work yesterday, even though I technically took the day off. And yeah, I made some exciting decisions. Yeah, some of them are a little bit scary. I've changed something in the beginning of the show. And the beginning is like one of the only parts of the show that's kind of fixed at the moment. Everything else is like in a continual process of chaos and change, as it should be. And the beginning, it feels quite definite in terms of what I do at the beginning of the show. But I added something in yesterday, and yeah, I'm a bit scared by it. I'm a bit nervous about it, and excited. I haven't shared it with an actual real life human yet. I just practiced it in my kitchen yesterday, and it went really well in the kitchen, and my kitchen audience were very impressed, so that was good. And then I made another decision. I've been kind of thinking about, I've been a little bit torn between two sort of slightly different directions that I could take with the show. I mean, there's about 50 that I could take, but I narrowed it down to 2. And yeah, so I had quite a big decision to make about that, and I made it yesterday, and shared the decision with my producer today. This is all very cryptic, isn't it? I like telling you loads of stuff without telling you anything. It's quite fun. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, and I shared the decision that I made with my producer and Karma, and she's on board with it, so that feels good. And then kind of started playing around with like the structure of the show. And I've got these kind of 2 things going on at the moment. We've got this sharing that we're doing online on the 19th, and then there's the show, and they're quite different things because I can't share the show online. It just won't work, and I don't want to. So I will share a little bit of the content of the show on the 19th, but it's also going to be some other stuff. Got my hello face. Yeah, so there's kind of 2 things going on. We're going to film stuff for the 19th, and then the live show will be a live show. This is another exciting thing that happened today. Apparently, maybe now or soon, we can have 30. You can have an outdoor activity with 30 people. So I've started thinking today, can I do this outside? Can I turn this into an outside show? Is that an option? It's definitely not something I've ever considered as an outside piece of work because of its content, and it's very adult, and there's a lot of oh, that's the dog. That's the next door neighbour's dog. Is joining in. There's a lot of nudity in it, and some of the content is, quite hard hitting, and so I can't quite imagine how it would work outside. But that's not to say that it can't. So yeah, that's an exciting avenue of thought, windy, to be exploring. And what else has happened on the show life updates? I went to see the gynecologist this morning, not in relation to the show, in relation to myself, and it refueled some more rage and some more questions and some more sadness and some more feelings around some of the kind of core questions or topics for me in the show. And I said the other day that one of the people that's working on the project was asking me about what are the social norms that I'm challenging with this piece of work, or like what are the social norms that I'm sticking two fingers up at with this piece of work, or pushing against with this piece of work, or disagreeing with in this piece of work, or bringing into conversation. And my very brief trip to the gynecologist today really reminded me that one of the biggest things for me that is part of this work and part of my work generally as an artist is to be kind of trying to bring us back to our humanity and feeling like the world that we live in and the social structures that we have and society and the system that we live in within in terms of like a capitalist system and a consumer-based system and a patriarchal system, that there's a lot of things about this system that are, for me, very devoid of connecting us with our humanity, and lots of ways of being and narratives and structures and systems within the bigger system that kind of require us to be productive rather than like productivity is placed more importantly than humanity, and functionality is placed as more important than emotionality. And a lot of my experiences in the medical system, whether that's through gynecology or the healthcare system, or going through the courts processes or benefit processes or even work environments, always bring me back to this model that we have where we're constantly being asked to put our feelings aside and put our emotionality aside and maybe put how our body feels aside and kind of have this very functional approach to things, and everything is very linear and about achieving and goals and product. Product is like this kind of constant thing of be productive, and often at any cost. And I feel like the cost is our humanity, and there isn't space often in that system to be acting or reacting from our hearts and from our emotions. And for me, what's amazing about us as humans is our capacity for humanity and our capacity to be very highly emotionally intelligent, sensitive, sentient beings. And what really angers me and saddens me about a lot of our social structures and systems is that they encourage us to operate like, and I know I mentioned this in one of the other vlogs, they encourage us to operate like we're part of a machine rather than a collective of uniquely individual beings that are all connected. And yeah, so this is a kind of thread that's in the show for me, is like, what can we do to bring us back to our humanity? Because especially when we're going through really vulnerable times in our culture, whether that's a mental health breakdown or if we're recovering from trauma or we're going through a grief process, for me it's in those spaces that it becomes even more obvious how much the system that we have doesn't work and how much it fails us when it comes to us needing support through vulnerable spaces, and how lacking that is, and how little understanding there is for what we need as humans to be well. And yeah, so today was, why is it 9 minutes? How does it go that fast? Oh my god. Yeah, this 5-minute plan is out the window. So yeah, today was good for reconnecting me with that kind of sentiment or message that is important for me in this work and is important for me as a person, and that I want to kind of keep coming back to with this question of, how can we be well in a world that is sick, which is the title. And yeah, more humanity is the answer. And I am gonna go before we get to 10 minutes. Okay, hopefully I'll be back in the rehearsal room tomorrow. Tomorrow. Don't know where that came from. That was a fun accent. And if not, Saturday. And yeah, see you all soon. Bye. How do I turn it off?